I am Rich, and one of the teaching assistants.
And today we're here to talk to you about Krouchasana. Krouchasana is Heron pose, and Heron pose is a pose that is a big hamstring stretch as well as a big core workout. So we're going to go through some of the basics today and kind of get you oriented to the pose. So the first stage of Krouchasana is starting in Ardha Virasana, so half hero's pose. So let's start with the left leg, drawing the knee into hero's pose. So you'll have one knee in the hero's pose and the other leg will stay long and extended. Okay, for some folks, they'll need to sit on a blanket on the hip of the extended leg just to keep the hips balanced, or use a block underneath the hip. But it really kind of depends on if the hips stay level or not. So for this first stage of the pose, we're going to do the really basic variation. Rich is going to go ahead and bring his foot to the floor, your right foot to the floor. And then go ahead, latch your hands around the outer edge of the foot. So bring one hand to one side and then the other to the other side. And then lifting up. So this is sort of the basic variation. So he's keeping his spine really long. His hips are rooted down. His crown is lifting up. And he's not working to straighten the leg all the way. This is sort of the newbie version of the pose. Over time, he's going to work to slowly extend the leg out, while keeping his spine long, lifting up to his point of control. And this is moving towards the more advanced variation. So you can see he keeps his spine long. He works to keep his leg extended to his point of control. And then with time, maybe lifting the heel a little bit higher. But this takes time and patience. Good. Maybe a little bend of the elbows, lift up through the arm, lift down through the crown. Good. So a lot of this is stretching through the back of the leg. And it's also engaging the core. The deepest part of the core muscles are being called into work here. So let's go ahead and release. Alright, so any add-ons for Krouchasana?
Yes, so if you cannot straighten your leg, you can always use a belt. Just like in Krouchasana, you can strap it around the arch of your foot and then work to straighten your leg. And keeping your spine nice and long, you can work to bring your leg closer to your head while extending your spine.
And for those of you friends who have any sort of knee issues, or runners, or folks who just generally have more problematic knees, come on down. We're going to take the leg out of hero's pose, because hero's pose is a big stretch for the quadriceps, and it can also aggravate old knee injuries. So for those of you friends who need a little bit of a variation, you can bring one leg into Krouchasana or butterfly pose. So just turning one leg out. There you go. And then the same setup. Bending the foot, overlaying the leg, catching the foot, and now leaning out, or sitting up tall, extending the leg out. So that way there's not the same pressure on the knee, and this is just the variation for the pose. So for those of you friends who have issues with hamstrings, or want to work on hamstring flexibility, or runners, or things like that, this is a really great pose to create extension in that leg. Anything else?
I think you covered it.
All right. And that